Okay. Oh. Jeez, that's not ideal. Okay, just checking to see if anyone can hear me. Nope. Okay. Nice. Now let's check something else here. Why can't I see? Why didn't they call it Restream Chat? That's what I don't understand. They do call it Restream Chat. Chat. Really? Great. Well, that's fire. So I can't see what anyone's saying. That's fine. Chat. Nothing. That's weird. Let's see. Yeah, they call the app something else, and it's just really strange. Nope, 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 nope. One sec, y'all. I thought I'd be able to pull this up in 2 seconds, but apparently not. Did they just like take it off the app? Like, did they just remove it from everyone's phone? Stream chat for iPhone. I guess I just have to go on the app. Oops. Nope. Nope. Okay. Now I can see the chat. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's good. Let's get started. Sorry I missed Friday's regular stream. The last couple weeks have been really hectic because we obviously had I had my power go out in like the whole area, like literally like right like an hour before I had to go live. So very not ideal at all. And that was going to be a great stream because we were going to be interviewing Mike Parvizi, good friend, mentor of mine, great teacher as well. So yeah, we kind of had to reschedule. Yeah, so we're going to reschedule that for sure. I'm looking into some other guests, but for today, we're just going to try to get back in the swing of things. Swag doubles, you can't stay. Dang, man. All good. Thanks for being here for a little bit, though. Appreciate you coming by at all. Love from Trinidad. Heck yeah, dude. Much love. Thanks for being here. Yeah, we're just gonna get started pretty quick. Just kind of get rolling into some sampling techniques. I'm definitely not the master of sampling. I was actually going through Sampler, just trying to figure out, because I never use it. I never really end up needing to use it, because I can kind of manipulate the samples pretty close to how I like it, just off the get-go. But I'll kind of show you what I do for that, how that all works. Yeah, let me know if everyone can hear me okay, too. Yeah, Swag, thanks for tuning in today, though. Appreciate you. Okay, so this might be kind of whack, but I'm trying to plug in this MIDI keyboard so I can actually try to make a song here. Okay, so I was just messing with some drum breaks. But yeah, let's get into it. Basically, there's this song I want to reference that I kind of want to try to make. But first, let's run through some techniques about how I sample. So I actually kind of did a stream on this not too long ago, kind of going over simpler. But I'll also show you how I manipulate just regular audio samples in Ableton, just in case anyone's curious. So let's do that. I am going to find a sample. Let's go to Kayleen Ellis's pack. This is a go-to. That's cool. Okay, let's just try this. I'm just gonna make a little melody out of this. Okay, so just dragging these in, I'm already sampling, technically, because I've taken another recorded piece of audio, put it in my DAW, and I'm now using it, I'm manipulating it for my song, right? So this is like, you know, a lot of people when they think of sampling, they think of, oh, I'm going to drag in some samples into a pad, play some drums. That is totally sampling. Looping stuff, that's sampling, but this is too, because I'm just, instead of doing it inside of like a simpler or a drum rack or putting it in a MIDI instrument of any kind, I'm just putting it straight on the timeline. And that's really common. You'll see that in most DAWs. People do that in most DAWs. But I actually make my drums. It's actually a habit I got into when I was using the early Ableton 8, Live 8, because for whatever reason, when I played drums on MIDI, they were much quieter, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me how to get it to sound better without just cranking it up super loud. But then when I started dragging the audio samples straight onto the grid, things just sounded better. So that's what I've kind of gotten in the habit of, and I've ended up making most of my beats have kind of, you know, drums scattered all around the grid. None of them are actually being played, but I'm going to go over the drum rack too in a little bit. So let's try to manipulate this just on the grid. And I'll try to make the same drum beat twice. I'll try to make the same drum beat using the grid, and then another drum beat using drum rack. And then I'll try to use simpler too. So we'll kind of go over all of those different ones today. Oh, my computer doesn't like that, so that's cool. So obviously it sounds cool, but it's a little harsh. I'm going to change this to complex since it's kind of a melodic thing. It's going to smoothen out that waveform, make it a little bit easier to listen to. And I'm going to pitch on. Okay, so I kind of like it there. I might try repitch too. Now let's go back to complex. Okay, and I think I want to filter it out. So I'm going to just open up a little fab filter on here. If you don't have that, just go to audio and effects, EQ and filters, and do an EQ8. Similar thing. A little bit of reverb. Okay, so we got a little something there. Nice. Let's get some drums in now. So, this is the first way I make drums. I drag them straight into the grid. Right? So let's try that. Start a couple new audio tracks. To do that, Command T is the shortcut. So I'm thinking like a the Figgy Foss. Hello, welcome to the stream. How is your day? I hope you are well. Thank you for joining in. We are going over sampling techniques in Ableton, basic level stuff, and hope you enjoy. We're not going for some crazy beats today. We're just going through some little tutorial stuff to help y'all out. If I'm going too fast, let me know. And yeah. So I'm thinking like a bump, 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 bump. So let's do that. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so that should be it. I'm just gonna loop that. So now that I've gotten that, I just copy and paste the grid. Also, when I work on the grid, usually when I'm doing beats like this, sampling on the grid, I'm usually in the narrow grid form, because what's cool about it is when you zoom in, the grid gets smaller. When you zoom out, it gets wider. So that way you're not having to always change it to like, oh, I just wanted at eighth notes. See, like it's stuck at eighth notes now. So I can't click between and mess with that. And widest, similar thing. So narrow is great because it just keeps getting more and more. And then if you go far enough in, you have full range to do whatever you'd like. So that's great area to be in, I think, for me. My computer just does not like streaming, that's for sure. So let's get these to swing a little bit. I'm just gonna bump these a little bit. It's like dun, dun, dun. Maybe like kind of turn this one down. Bum, bum. Yep, I like that. So obviously I can hear the swing in my head already. I'm already kind of planning out what that's going to be like. So I'm not too concerned with variation yet. And a lot of my beats don't have a lot of variation. I just try to make the solid, loop to be good. So that's how it is now. And let's get that snare. Let's do a rim shot. Might be a little goofy, but I kind of like it. Make sure that I'm basically what I'm doing is I'm manipulating this snare so that it hits right on. Hey, Cal, my guy. What are you doing, homie? What's good? Thanks for being here, bro. One of my university homies is pulled up into the chat. Legendary mixing engineer. Soon to be legendary. He's already legendary in my book, but you know how it is. Heck yeah, bro. Thanks for coming in. Just doing some sampling techniques on Ableton, talking about how I drag in samples on the grid, making a quick beat, doing it again in simpler, and then drum rack, basic stuff. But I figured some people might enjoy it. Definitely put that in the wrong spot, so that's cool. Alright. So since I swing those kicks, it sounds a little swinged, but I'm gonna push these forward too. Just a little bit. Okay, hats. So for the sake of this, I'm not going to do a loop, even though I usually do, just a lot easier. I'm going to do individual hats. So let's find some good one-shots. Okay, so I like the Alchemist one, so let's just put these in. All 4 of them. And that can be kind of our open hat. So I'm thinking 16th notes. Dun, 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 dun. See, that already sounds sick to me. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Now what I want to do with this is I want to kind of drag it out. I want it to sustain longer. Kind of like a longer open hat, right? So a couple ways to do this. You can either find a new sample, or all you got to do with this is just warp it. Make a new warp marker at the end of the sample and just drag it out really long. Might sound a bit weird, but so obviously it doesn't sound great. But what I'm going to do with this is I kind of like the way that sounds, how it's glitching out. So I'm just going to consolidate it. And then I'm going to take the beginning of this and turn it down a little bit. Consolidate that. So consolidating is really great because I'm basically taking what's there and making it the final thing. I'm bouncing it in place essentially. But the difference between resampling and consolidating is that when I'm consolidating, I'm just bringing clips together, like how I had turned this one down and kind of melded it in with this one. It's only affecting the track, but if there's any effects on it, the effects stay the same. But then when I resample, I'm basically taking exactly what's coming out of the track with the effects and printing that as its own bounce, if that makes sense. But I can go over that too if anyone cares to know more about that. Yeah. Okay. Nice. So we still have that hit, but I'm not a huge fan of it. Cool. So I like how it sounds now, but I also want to I want the first one to be accented louder than the second, right? So all I'm gonna do is just turn the gain down of the second one, and I'm gonna just do it a little more because I want it to be a little more intense. Copy paste that. Nice. Turn this one down too because it's just a little harsh, and maybe do a little fade out. Just like some more patterns, some like 16th note rhythms. And maybe the middle one's lower, so let's turn that down. Cool, so that's fine right for now. Let's see if I like how it is all together. Not the best hi-hats I've ever made, but I like it, so I'm going to consolidate it. Like I said, I'm bringing all of those little clips together to make one clip now. And I'm going to just swing it a little bit by pushing it forward more. So I also am not sure about the timbre of the end of that kind of hi-hat. So I'm going to keep it on beats and shorten the transients here. I do this all the time. If anyone's watched my videos, I'm literally doing this with all my beats. Constantly frees up a lot of space. So I like that. even though I took so much of that, you know, out, so much of the transients of it kind of sustaining out from the sample. I like how staccato it is. It kind of matches the drums, how the other ones sound, right? Because I'm trying to make it sound cohesive as a whole. So it's kind of got that Monte Booker feel, you know. Computer's starting to hate me. Classic. Okay, so I'm gonna also consolidate the beginning of this. And I'm gonna consolidate this first one, and I'll show you why in a sec. Because we're gonna go over drum rack. So that is the next form of sampling I really like to do because I like to play my drums. So if this is, you wanna play drums on a pad, this is a great way to do it. So just go to instruments, and you will see drum rack right here. Just drag that into your MIDI track, make sure it's selected. And now you'll see the pads, right? So what I'm gonna wanna do is I want the loud kick I have. So I'm gonna Command E on this, consolidate it as its own thing, and then I'm also going to consolidate this kick as well. Great. So let's get back to the drum rack. I'm just gonna drag these in. So we got our first one, we got our quieter kick here, our snare, right? And then let's get these hi-hats in too. So this might be a little tough since we've kind of already warped it like we wanted it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna chop up this first kind of loop here. Just don't have to do it all perfectly, but just as an example, I'm gonna consolidate this, and the second one here, our open hat, our first open hat, and then our second. Great. So let's drag those in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe that one too. Okay, great. So now we have our drums. That's it. Now we just gotta play it. So I got my keyboard set up on my computer, but I also have the MIDI plugged in. I think I might just stay here so y'all can see my face. And as you can see, I don't have an arm like an idiot, so let's do that. And when I play my keyboard on my computer, I have this key button activated, computer MIDI keyboard. And when I hit buttons, you can actually see them lighting up here in the drum rack, so you kind of know where you are, right? Z and X are down on the octave, so I'm going to go down since I'm a bit too high. One more. Great. Okay, so as you can tell, it didn't really change much. So even though I froze them in place, the volume's still the same loudness, which is very strange. So what I'm going to do is just turn this one down so it's kind of more similar to the other one. And I also don't like how this one's cutting off, so I'm just going to fade it out a little bit. Same with this one too. Cool. There's our snare. All right, let's try to play this drum beat. I think I'm going to also move this so it's on, so it's a little bit easier to play it. And I'm also on like a really high bitrate setting, so there's a little bit of delay, but it should be fine. So I'm going to mute. Where's that snare? Cool. So I'm just going to record that, play it. See how close we can get it. Cool. Of course, it doesn't start on the one. Okay. So a little rough, right? And it also doesn't sound as good for some reason. Once again, I don't know what it is, but books, I know. Thanks for being here again. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's been a weird couple weeks. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, Books, or Garnish, but I had announced that the power went out right before I was going to do my interview with a teacher, mentor of mine. Would have been a really great stream. Yeah, the power went out in the whole area and it was awful. So there was that, and then I had a session this Friday I couldn't miss, so pushed the stream to today. I don't know. Let me know if you guys and gals like having it on Sundays too, because yeah, Fridays work, you know. LJ, welcome back. Thanks for being here. Yeah, we're just going over sampling today, kind of going over the different ways I do it. Stuff on the grid and in drum rack, and then we'll kind of go over simpler too. I'm just gonna take this part. So let's see how close we were. Probably not too close, but yeah, Books, how have you been? Weird, right? Now let's hear the one where I dragged him in. It's crazy, right? Isn't that so strange? It literally is just so much quieter and just does not hit at all. And it's so weird. I don't know what that's about. That's partly why I've never used drum rack, unless I really just need to play it to get the idea out. Hey, Hunter Dev, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Yeah, so a little strange. Let's try to get the levels out right. You're doing great. That's amazing. So happy to hear it. Today's been pretty good as well for me. Woke up a little slow. My homie DJ'd a little thing yesterday, so obviously went to that and enjoyed myself a little bit. But yeah, been a great start to the morning. Have a nice little session later today. Great start. Yeah. Wish you knew more about your shows in your city. I feel you, man. What city are you in, if you don't mind me asking? I might know some stuff going on. Probably not, but great place to check is Facebook Marketplace. Not Marketplace, I'm an idiot. Facebook events. Facebook groups, like production Facebook groups. People post at their DJing shows and stuff. Or if there's just like a club that like you know of that might play some cooler music, stuff that you're into. But yeah, I feel that I'm from Colorado, and it's just started to get a little bit better in terms of the hip hop R&B stuff that I love. We are lucky though because we got Red Rocks, so we have people coming through, like some pretty dope acts coming through often. But yeah. Okay, so let's feel that compared to our other tracks. Let me just group these together too, so we can kind of grid drums, gird, nice, grid, and then we got our drum rack drums, cool. So obviously I was able to get a lot more variation kind of going with dragging it in, but like I said, that's also like how I personally do it, and I've gotten used to that. Yeah, of course, Huncho. Definitely check Facebook. Eventbrite sometimes has some artists. I would just check out like if there's any artists coming through your city, and you don't know them, look them up, see if you like the music, pull up their show. You never know, could be fun. But I'm in LA right now, so obviously there's an excess amount of events and DJ stuff going on here. So a little bit different sounds, right? But almost got this the same thing, just wasn't able to play those hats while playing the other drums. Sweet. So yeah, those are just a couple ways I do my drums, sampling in Ableton. I really like dragging them in, just sounds a lot more full. Takes a lot more time, but it's not like Fruity Loops where you can kind of just click in all your drums on a sequencer really easily, But yeah, just something to do. And then we kind of have let's move on to the simpler. So what we're going to do with this is I'm going to show you how to resample. This is really important for sampling in Ableton. Really easy. Create a new audio track, Command T on Mac. Go to exit in here, your input, and change it to resampling. Arm it, and then solo what you're trying to record. So I've just soloed my grid drums group, and I'm just gonna like get rid of those. Just record it. Cool. So easy way to record whatever you soloed directly into another track with the resampling feature. And that's that. Simple. So let's unarm that just so I don't record over myself again. And let's open up a simpler. In the wrong spot. Nice. Okay. So now I'm going to just move this up in the group so I can kind of see everything a little easier. Let's drag this in. So one of the issues we're going to have with this is I don't want it to speed up and slow down when I play higher pitch or lower pitch, right? So I'm just going to go straight to slice because that's how I use this feature to do drums. And as you can see, it's already kind of sliced everything for me in a pretty good way. But it's doing it by the transient. So it's cutting up a lot more than I want. So I'm going to change this to beat. And now it's a lot better. But I also kind of want to keep some of these. So Obviously, it's not, as you can see, it's not chopping up where this smaller kind of accent kick is. So I'm going to move this one over and this one over here. And now we kind of have everything we need. So let's try it out. And obviously we're going to be getting the hi-hats in there because it's part of the sample, but this is just like part of how you sample drums. This is kind of what you would end up having to do on a MPC, right? And you would just have to manipulate each one of these if you really wanted to get specific, but so let's move this over. Let's find that. Cool, let's record it. I don't have the metronome on, so that's partly the problem. Cool. Computer's struggling here. What's new? And once again, it's really quiet, so we're gonna really have to bump this up a little bit. But it's easy fix. It's just low in decibel level. The quality shouldn't change. Oh, you know what? I screwed that up because I deleted. Undo all this. I recorded over my drum rack drums when I resampled, so not ideal. Copy that MIDI I just did, put the simpler back in. And now I'm going to show you another way to resample. Super easy. Instead of recording in the resample, what I'm going to do is let's just do it anyway again, just so you kind of see it. So I have an audio track. I change the input to resampling. Hit record. Make sure I'm soloing what I want to be recorded. Cool. Move to the top. Drag this in. Slice. Go to beat. And then I just kind of edit these how I want. So this one's starting at a good spot. I want this one to kind of be back here. And there. There's the snare. Alright, see how it sounds. Oh, and of course this one was armed, so that's not ideal. I'll just replay it again. Turn it up a little bit. Unarm that. Nothing else is armed. Okay, good. No metronome. Mess that one up a little bit. Just move it down to the snare. So I played it, so it's going to have that kind of natural swing on its own. And you know, as you can see, the reason it's quieter is because it's defaulting at negative 12 dB. But if I get it up to 0, just type in 0, hit enter. Sounds a lot louder. But this one still bumps even harder, right? So, and these are the ones I just, obviously it's because it's playing, but there we go. I was playing the resampled version with the one I had dragged everything in. Set these to 0. See what happens. Wow, so that's really loud. But I was also playing just the one hi-hat sample, which is probably the louder one of the ones I changed dynamics of, right? So they all have different kind of sounds depending on how you sample them. What you're going for, it's going to change. But yeah, so that's kind of like the 3 ways I usually sample drums. Yeah, so let's go to some other instruments. Anyone have any questions? Anything you don't understand? Let me know. Cool. So, yeah. Got the sample. Let's maybe try some strings out. So I'm gonna use the one I dragged in the samples here. Put some strings in here, so let's find some Splice Strings. Kind of show you how I do this. I would prefer to play the strings MIDI. Sometimes they don't sound as good because they're MIDI versus like a sample of real strings. But sometimes they do, so it just depends on what I'm going for. But if I really want like some real string sounds, I'm gonna go to Splice and kind of find the chords and manipulate strings using fades and stuff like that. I'll kind of show you what I do. That's very loud. I'm going to turn that down. Cool. I like that. So let's try that. Let's try some longer ones, because right now I know that these chords are major chords, so I'm only looking for major chords. That's a good one. Very nice. Okay, so let's break this down, right? Let's solo our harmony we already have. And solo one of our string parts. So we can kind of just hone in on one, make sure it's right. Okay, so that's kind of where our issue starts. It's in the right key though. So that starts a little early, so let's warp that, stretch it out. I'm going to cut that up. Let's turn it off for now. And I'm going to go with this one now. Obviously a lot different string sound, right? So I'm going to end up trying to layer this one. But let's make sure this is right too. Just EQ out some of those low mids so it kind of sounds a little bit like the other sample. Now I'm going to fade these together. Okay, so I like that end too. So let's take that and do something with that. New audio track. I'm going to copy this part specifically. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to turn this one off. And I'm going to mess with how this one's warped. So this one's a little behind. Get it right. Just make the fade more, you know? A lot better. This one needs a fade too. But that's when we kind of use other parts to kind of mix them better together. This fade's not wanting to cooperate. Even just duplicate that. Starts on a weird beat, so. weird. Maybe it starts here. Since the other ones have a lot of high end, I'm gonna kind of take the highs out of this one. Another thing that can be good to blend it if it's kind of, you're finding it hard to get it sounding a little cohesive, is just a little bit of reverb. So let's just add that. Strings. Bass. Let's find a bass. Let's finish it up. We got 5 more minutes. This is also sampling. Just going to use the simpler, play it in with MIDI. Maybe like let's see. Just a really short bass. That's nice. Make it one shot so it plays through. Then I don't have to hold it down. Might be kind of nice though to kind of, just not going to sound as good since it's MIDI, you know what I mean? Nice. Pretty solid take. Duplicate it over. Beef it up, just add a little bit of distortion, saturation, vinyl distortion, put it on medium curve, hard, put this up a little bit, make it mono because we like our basses mono. I like the bass, it reminds me of the theme song TV series Luther. Interesting. I don't know if I've seen, actually I think I've seen it, but it was a long time ago. I'll have to check it out and see how it compares. Thanks, books. just quantized it, and then I just moved it forward a little bit so it has the swing to it, because obviously everything's swinging. Obviously not all the notes are right, but it's pretty crazy what you can do with samples, right? Like I just manipulated all these string samples, and the key to making it sound good is to just use a lot, layer them up. And a lot of times, sometimes if I can't get the chords right, I will literally take like 7 different string samples and kind of string together a bunch of different chords just by using the fades on the sample themselves. So pretty cool. Honestly, it works really well. I've done it a lot of times. Definitely takes some practice, but this whole song is just samples. Everything is just audio that I've manipulated here. And that's like a lot of the music I make. Pretty much all of it is that. So, yeah. We've just hit 12. Thanks everybody so much for being here. Really appreciate it. I hope the quality was okay and you could hear everything fine and it wasn't too glitchy or whatever. But yeah, I'll just play this through a little bit. Obviously my computer's dying though. What's new? Yeah, and that's the thing, like I'm not an expert, right? Like I can't sit here and tell you how to, you know, EQ and like I don't know like stuff like that. I'm not an engineer. I'm definitely not really a sound designer like in some classic scenarios, right? But I'm just trying to come at it from a very practical point of view, because like I'm just trying to make a song, and a lot of times samples have everything I need to get it done, and it's also just practice. Just lots of practice. So yeah, hopefully in the future I can go over some more kind of tips and tricks on sound design and synths. It's definitely not my strong suit, but I can go over the basics for everyone. Whatever anyone wants to know, I'm here to help. And yeah, that's just my process. Obviously, I'm definitely a hip-hop person, so a lot of it is hip-hop, but if anyone wants me to try other genres, I'm more than happy to do that. But yeah, please go follow Garnish. Garnish is here. Dave, thanks for tuning in. Please go follow Garnish on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Hit their website. If anyone's interested in taking lessons and learning a lot more about this in depth, please go visit Garnish. Hit the Discord too. Discord's a great place to network with everyone that's in the streams. But yeah, Figgy Foss, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. We plan Friday. Do I prefer Sunday? I'm good for either one. Sundays are good because they're usually chill. But being in the music industry is definitely very up and down in terms of scheduling. So any day is kind of a weird day. But book says it doesn't matter. Anyone have any thoughts? If you prefer another day, either day works for me. Let's go ahead and save this. Sampling stream. 2:20. Sweet. Awesome. Okay, everyone. Thanks again for being here. Have a great rest of your Sundays. Yeah. Catch y'all on Friday, I guess. We'll keep with the Friday schedule, and maybe we can do guest Sundays. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah. Yeah, sorry about missing last Friday too. My bad. Obviously, when the power goes out everywhere, there's not a whole lot you can do with that, but yeah, doing my best. So yeah, and we're gonna have a lot more guests on. I'm really excited to kind of bring in Mike and some other people. Yeah, we had Keegan, who streams a lot, also really great artist, musician. But yeah, I'm still, I'm out here doing music in LA, and the more people I meet, hopefully I can bring them on here and they can share their knowledge of what they know with y'all. I think it's just really beneficial. Yeah. Other than that, have a great day. That concludes today's stream, and much love. Peace out, y'all.